At the beginning of the 20th century, Houston was becoming an appealing place for many of the large oil producers, mostly in part through the discovery of oil at Spindletop Hill in the Beaumont area in 1901 and the opening of the Houston Ship Channel in 1914. The concentration of oil giants in this area would later earn the city the energy capital of the world. The Humble Oil Company played a large part in this. The Humble Oil Company was formed in Humble, Texas in 1911 and operated a small independent refinery. In 1919, the Standard Oil Company of New Jersey would obtain through a series of transactions a 50% stake in the Humble Oil Company. This Standard Oil Company was a remnant of the Standard Oil Company that was broken up in 1911 as a result of litigation through the Sherman Antitrust Act and would later become the company known as Exxon today. As the Humble Oil Company continued to grow, it would move its headquarters to Houston in 1921 and opened its first office at Main and Polk, which at the time was the largest building in the city at 9 stories tall. Over the next several decades, the Humble Oil Company would continue to grow to prominence, and in World War II was the largest domestic oil producer. In 1959, there would be another acquisition by the Standard Oil Company of New Jersey and would obtain 100% interest of the Humble Oil Company. However, it would continue to use the Humble Oil Company name until 1973, when Standard rebranded nationwide as Exxon and discontinued the use of the Humble Oil Company name. In 1963, the company opened its second office at 800 Bell Street. And as far back, 1978 is about the first time you can see the new office there. As I said, in 1973, Standard rebrands as Exxon, and Exxon would continue to operate in this building until 2011, when they announced plans to relocate all employees to a new campus in Spring, Texas, and in January of 2013 sold the downtown property to Shorenstein Properties for $50 million. As part of this sale, Exxon would get to rent this property until 2015 when they exited that lease. In 2015, oil prices plummeted and many of the large oil producers exited unused office space, and Exxon was no different. This property has pretty much sat vacant ever since. Shortly after Exxon moved to Spring, former Houston Mayor Anise Parker had proposed moving the Houston Municipal Courts and the Police Department onto this property. However, this was raised some safety concerns due to the threat of an attack when you have concentrated law enforcement presence, similar to the 1995 Oklahoma City bombing, and for that reason, that idea was abandoned. The property was sold again in 2022, and with the plan of turning it into a residential apartment building. However, that has not happened. So it has been vacant ever since. And another illustration kind of the former glory of this building, when the building opened in 1963, it housed the Houston Petroleum Club. And that is a private dinner club that was founded by some of the early Houston oil men. It operated in the Rice Hotel originally beginning in 1951, and it had moved into the Exxon Tower whenever it opened, and it remained until 2015. It's moved a couple blocks over now to the Total Energy Plaza, but yeah, this was a big deal when Exxon was in this building. But we're going to go ahead and take a look now. 2002, and by this point, these are the Enron Towers over here, which is now Chevron's building, and here is 2011. And then the last year Exxon was on the property in 2015, and we can move it even further forward here, and you can see the empty parking lots here around it. This property has become the subject of a number of videos on the internet around urban exploring, where people make videos exploring abandoned buildings, and so I thought it would be cool to share some of the history of the Exxon Tower in downtown Houston.